Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping right into the very latest in tech today.
Absolutely.
Lots happening.
Yeah, specifically, we're looking at the newest smartphones landing this summer, and there's a lot going on with foldables. Definitely keeping an eye on that space.
For sure, it's evolving fast.
Think of this as your inside track on what's really coming next for the device in your pocket. We're cutting through the usual hype.
Getting to the facts, the insights that actually matter.
Exactly. And this deep dive is brought to you by StoneFly. They're your trusted solution provider and advisor for pretty much everything: enterprise IT storage, backup disaster recovery, hyper-converged VMware, Hyper-V, Proxmox clusters.
AI servers too, SA365 turnkey security appliances, and cloud solutions, both public and private.
Right. Check them out at stonefly.com for more info. So, our mission today: unpack these upcoming gadgets, find the surprising details, and figure out why they matter to you.
Okay, let's get into it. All right, let's start with Google. The Pixel 10 series. Online buzz is pointing towards, what, an August 20th launch. What's the story there? Design, power? What are we seeing?
Well, interestingly, the overall look, it seems like the Pixel 10, the 10 Pro, the Pro XL, and even this new Pixel 10 Pro Fold, they're sticking pretty close to the A9 series aesthetic.
So refinement, not revolution.
Kind of looks that way. Google seems happy with the design language. But the colors for the regular Pixel 10, that's where it gets a bit more fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, rumors are talking ultra blue, smoky green, and get this, limoncello.
Limoncello, I like that. Makes it a bit less, serious.
Exactly, though the Pro models, they're sticking to the usual suspects. Whites, blacks, grays. They do get the smoky green, apparently, but no limoncello for the Pros.
Okay, so fun colors for the base model. But let's get under the hood. The Tensor chip, big change happening there. Like, they're switching manufacturers. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, this is pretty significant. Google's ditching Samsung for the Tensor production. They're reportedly going with TSMC, Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing company.
TSMC. Okay, that's usually seen as, like, the top tier for chip making, isn't it?
Generally, yes. Better process tech usually means better power efficiency, maybe more raw power. So for you, potentially better battery life, smoother performance, especially with AI stuff or gaming. It's a strategic move.
Interesting. But the modem stays the same, the Exynos one.
Seems so. Sticking with the Exynos 5400 modem from the Pixel 9. Which then brings us to the cameras, the Pro models. Hardware apparently unchanged, still should be great.
Right.
But the regular Pixel 10, it's getting smaller sensors, physically smaller, which sounds like a downgrade, but...
But. There's always a but.
They're adding a telephoto lens, something the base Pixels haven't had before.
Okay, smaller sensors.
Okay.
That usually means worse low-light performance, right? So are they just relying on software magic? And can that telephoto really make up for it?
That's exactly the gamble, isn't it? Google is definitely banking hard on their computational photography, their processing smarts, to make those smaller sensors perform.
Okay.
And adding the telephoto, that's a big functional upgrade for Zoom.
Yeah.
But yeah, the question is, how much can software overcome physics? Especially when you see phones like the Nothing Phone 3A, maybe the 3A Pro, mid-rangers getting telephoto lenses now.
Right. So you're paying a premium for the Pixel 10. How much is that software worth if cheaper phones are getting similar hardware features?
It really puts the pressure on Google's software to deliver, doesn't it? Makes you weigh that premium price against what you get elsewhere.
Definitely something to think about. Okay, let's switch gears. Foldables. Samsung. Z Fold 7, Z Flip 7. Coming soon, maybe July.
That's the expectation, yeah.
And the claims for the Fold 7 are pretty bold. Thinnest, lightest, most advanced foldable ever. Is this a real leap or just, incremental stuff?
No, this actually looks like a pretty major redesign, especially on the Fold 7. They're really pushing the form factor when it's folded, just 8.9 millimeters.
Wow, that is thin.
And unfolded, 4.2 millimeters, which is kind of wild. And the weight only 215 grams.
Weight lighter than an S25 Ultra. A slab phone.
Apparently. Despite having two screens and the hinge, they've used new materials, Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2 on the cover, this advanced armor aluminum frame, stronger hinge, all about getting that bulk down.
Okay, that addresses a big complaint. Makes it way more pocketable, I imagine.
Exactly. Feels less like a brick, more like a phone when it's closed.
And the screens, cameras, have they stepped up the camera game, which has always been a bit of a weak spot for foldables?
They seem to have. Both screens are bigger, 6.5-inch cover, 8.0-inch main display, more immersive. And the cover screen aspect ratio is now 21.9.
Also more like a normal phone screen.
Yeah, less narrow and awkward, makes it more usable when closed. Main screen is wider for multitasking, both bright 2600 nits and have that adaptive 120 Hz refresh rate.
Nice. And the camera, the main one.
This is the big news, I think. The Z Fold 7 is reportedly packing the same 200-megapixel main sensor as the Galaxy S25 Ultra.
Whoa. Okay, so they're finally putting a true flagship camera in the Fold. That's huge.
It's a big statement, addresses a major gap, and the camera on the inside screen is upgraded to 10MP, wider angle for group selfies.
Okay, impressive specs. And powering all this, assuming the latest silicon.
Absolutely. It's running a customized Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. Optimized for Samsung stuff. They're claiming like 38% faster processing, 26% smoother graphics, 41% quicker AI compared to the Fold 6.
So noticeably faster in everyday use.
Should be, yeah. Snappier multitasking, better gaming, smoother AI features, plus storage up to 1 TB. They're not messing around.
And the Flip 7, any major changes there or more subtle? Yep. What else came out of this unpacked event?
The Flip 7 seems more iterative, minor tweaks, a new hinge design meant to reduce the crease even more, and a bigger cover screen, 3.4 inches, makes it more useful without opening it.
Right.
And yeah, Samsung also launched the Galaxy Watch 8 series, a rugged watch Ultra version, and new Galaxy Buds 3 with these blade lights. Kind of different, but the big theme across everything. Galaxy AI. Features like live translate, summarizing notes, it's being integrated everywhere.
Got it. But here's where it gets tricky, right? The trade-offs. People are definitely talking about the Z Fold 7 price maybe hitting $2,000. And crucially, no S Pen support this time. What's the deal?
Yeah, that's causing a stir. Samsung's line is that removing the S Pen digitizer was necessary to get that super thin design. Engineering challenges, fitting it all in.
Necessary, or a choice. Because other foldables do have stylus support and are still pretty thin, right? Like the Oppo.
Exactly. That's the counter-argument. Competitors have managed it. So yeah, the price hike combined with losing the S Pen, it's a sticking point for a lot of potential buyers, especially power users who loved the stylus integration.
It forces you to choose thinnest design or S Pen versatility.
Pretty much. It's a compromise some aren't happy about.
And the other big foldable worry, durability. Still IP48 rated, same as before. What does that actually mean day to day? People worry about dust, grit, pocket sand. Is that still a concern?
It's still a factor, yeah. IP48 means it handles splashes, light rain, but the 4 for dust resistance. It means it's not fully sealed against fine particles.
So pocket sand is still the enemy?
Potentially, yes. While Samsung has beefed up the frame and hinge materials, that rating suggests fine dust could still theoretically get into the mechanism over time. We saw issues with past folds, like the Fold 4 hinge failures for some users.
Right.
So while many people have zero problems and the build is stronger, it's probably still wise to be a bit careful in really dusty or sandy environments. It's not invincible, despite the high price and advanced materials, and repairs are costly.
Yeah, it reminds me of that CMF Phone 1 thing. Sounds repairable with a removable back, but turns out it's still glued and screwed together inside.
Exactly. It's a similar theme. The CMF phone scores, 6.5 out of 10 for repairability? Not exactly user-friendly. It's nowhere near something like a Fairphone 5, which is built for easy fixing. So with the Z Fold 7, you get this amazing cutting-edge design. But you might be trading away some peace of mind on long-term durability and ease of repair compared to simpler phones, or phones designed for repair. It's about knowing what you prioritize.
Makes sense. Okay, moving beyond the big two, Google and Samsung, what else is hitting this summer? Any other interesting devices or trends emerging?
Definitely. The Nothing Phone 3 is one to watch, launching July 1st. Expected to be a bit pricier this time.
And they're changing the lights, right? The glyphs.
Yeah, that's the controversial bit. Rumor is they're ditching the unique glyph lighting for dot matrix tech instead. More subtle, maybe, but get the community talking is Nothing losing its unique identity.
Interesting brand question there. What else?
The Honor Magic V5. They skipped V4 because 4 is unlucky in China, apparently. It's supposed to be even thinner than the V3, which was already super slim. Plus a huge battery, 6,100 mAh, Snapdragon Elite Power, upgraded camera. Looks like a serious foldable contender.
Wow, big battery and thin. That's impressive if they pull it off.
Right. And then there's Huawei's Pura series. Already out in China, should hit globally in July. Huawei always pushes camera tech hard, and the designs are usually quite striking.
So lots of activity. But it feels like everyone is chasing thinness. Is that really what people want most? I see so many comments asking for bigger batteries, better cameras, even if the phone is a bit thicker.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is this industry obsession with thinness actually aligned with what most users need day to day?
Yeah.
A super thin phone looks great, feels nice initially,
Yeah.
but if the battery dies by 4 p.m. or the camera compromises hurt your photos, many users would happily take an extra millimeter or two for better battery life or a truly top-tier camera system without compromises.
Feel like a real tension between design aesthetics and practical function.
Absolutely. It forces you, the buyer, to decide what you value more. Are you willing to trade some battery longevity or maybe camera capability for that ultimate sleekness? Or do you prioritize function over the absolute thinnest form? The market offers both, but rarely in the same package.
So we've covered a lot. Google's Pixels bringing color and a new chip strategy, Samsung pushing foldable boundaries with the ultra-thin Fold 7 but making some tough compromises, and other players like Nothing, Honor, Huawei stirring the pot.
Yeah, tons of innovation in design, lots of AI integration becoming standard, but also those persistent challenges. High prices, durability questions, and this ongoing debate about thinness versus core features like battery.
It feels like manufacturers are definitely pushing the tech envelope, but the real win for users is when that tech translates into reliable, useful, everyday benefits, right?
Exactly. It comes down to usability and durability in the long run. The market's moving fast, but that fundamental balance is key cutting-edge features versus devices that are just solid, dependable, and don't break the bank or die halfway through the day.
Which innovations will stick and which are just, well, flashy trends.
That's what we'll find out. It's always interesting to watch.
It really is a great point to consider as you look at these new devices. Think about what really matters for how you use your phone day in, day out.
Good advice.
And before we wrap up, just one last reminder from our sponsor, StoneFly. If you're looking for serious secure storage, check out their 100 TB immutable and air-gapped SSONs. It's priced at $8,995.
That's a massive amount of secure storage. Definitely worth looking into for businesses needing that level of protection.
For sure. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today.